Old Chief, another player departed during the week, I'll tell you. Just talk about what went on there.
Well, without getting to the details, pretty much he had some personal reasons back home. He needed to be closer to his family, and we decided that was probably the best move for him to go back and be close to his family.
Because given just the injuries you've got, absences you've got, other players leaving, I guess his versatility would have been quite handy to have at this time. So how did you sort of balance that between going, okay, well, we'll let you go, but also being like, well, we kind of need you as well?
Yeah, so I think we kept him for one more game against Sydney because we were very short in terms of available personnel. But it was just the best decision in the long run for him and for us as well, planning and moving forward. So, it was very integral last year. It was very good on and off the bench. He started a chunk of games. Came off the bench. But again, we've kind of moved away from that system last year, and competition for spots in the sixes. We have a lot of good sixes as well. So the fact that he also wasn't getting a lot of game time would have been frustrating on his part. But I think for the long-term planning of where the squad's going, it will be the right decision.
And in terms of players coming in, are you looking for more than the one import playmaker now?
At the moment, the priority is the foreigner, the number 10, but we are looking at a couple of local options for different positions at the moment.
How is the market in terms of your local players at the moment? Obviously, the National League's not going on. Are there Kiwis available at this time?
No, we've looked at a couple of Kiwi boys. We've got one training at the moment, local boy. But again, I think once we satisfy squad depth with the foreigner, then we'll look at adding some locals, whether they be Kiwi boys or Aussie boys, just where they're short or where we need to make up the gap is. And again, we're not going to rush into a decision. It's more about making sure, first of all, who's available, how it mixes with the new signings, and so on, and we'll just take it from there.
Who's training with you at the moment?
I'm not going to say. Yeah.
And who is out for the game against Macarthur? Is Matt Sheridan, did he get concussed during the...
Yeah, unfortunately, Matty got the concussion from the challenge in the first half. I'm surprised he actually lasted, to be fair, that whole half after that contact. So he's out. I think he's still scoring quite high on his availability test, which means that it'll be touch and go for Mariners as well. Painey is still 50-50 at the moment in terms of for next week. Still experiencing a bit of pain, which is it's taking a little bit longer than what's expected. So at the moment they're the two big ones, and Roofs is obviously ongoing.
What about Sam Sutton? How did he come up?
No, the positive with Sam, he ticked all the boxes yesterday training. Today he was fully mobile, involved, so he's fine, ready to go.
Can he start?
He'll start. At the moment, whoever can run will start.
Because in terms of playing Macarthur, their strength is like their wide attacking players.
Yes.
They're sort of among the league's top assist makers and goal scorers. Is this the worst possible time to have a bit of a fullback shortage?
Is it a good time? I don't think there's any good time when you're losing players, especially the calibre of players that we're losing at the moment. But again, look, the eternal optimist that I am, I thought we put a good performance against Adelaide. We were very unlucky to not get something out of that game. I thought we played really well against Sydney. Might not have created a lot of chances, but we defended quite well. We're in the game for large parts. And we have a lot of players out at the moment. And the opportunity for these other players that have come in, like Corbin Piper, Walker, these boys have come in. Big Lucas is back now. I'm really buoyed by the fact that even though we're experiencing some issues with depth, that these boys are now all stepping up. For me, even Kazu and Retre as a pairing at sixes, it's starting to grow nicely.
Does this feel like a big game just in terms of the table? You can cut the gap to the top six back to 4 with a win, but if you lose, I think it might even be 10 points away from 5th place.
The right answer is to tell you that, we need to win this game to stay in touch, but I'm not even looking that far. I'm looking at the performance of the first half, performing well, making sure, I have 11 fit players, and then building on that first half, and then, building on that second half. For me, it's literally a game-by-game proposition now. I'm more focused on the performance, because I know if we can keep performing like we did the last couple of games, that the outcome will work itself out. The top 6 will work itself out if we're good enough. I don't want to really focus on that too much. I think we need to go back to a more measured approach about really giving everything that we can game by game.
And in terms of Macarthur, you've played them once already this season. They're big at home. What have you learned from that game that you can take into this one?
What have I learned? That you need to be focused defending for 90 minutes. That's what I learned from that game. I think we had a poor 5 minutes at the start of that game at home. There were a lot of issues in the phase leading up to the penalty that we conceded, which was disappointing. I think that it took us a bit of time to settle into the game, and I thought it was probably one of our best games with the ball. We actually had really long periods of the ball where were quite effective. Shigi, Rahas, Costa, they started building combinations, very promising. And then, unfortunately, we got to the end part of the game, and I didn't think we defended that well, and we got punished for it, and we won't be making those mistakes again.
Have there been times in the last few days where you thought, I might not be able to field a side to play Macarthur?
I think that every day, the way we're going, even the planning for this game, the starting 11 is basically players that can, run the 90 minutes. We've got a couple of boys, uncontracted boys as well on the bench that have had a long break, and I'm putting them at a risk by putting them on the bench, but that's all that's available, and it is what it is. And I'm not going to make it an excuse, because again, we were short-handed last game and the game before, and these guys all pulled through with very good performances. So I just need 11 players, and I need 6 players off the bench that can give me, just their heart and soul, and I think that'll be good enough. How
have the squad responded, and how do they keep, getting up for these challenges?
Look, I think with anything like this, team going through a bit of suffering, which is good, part of, becoming a better team. And it's literally step by step. We're going to grind game by game. We're going to work hard. We're going to stick to what we believe in. And the moment will come where we'll win a game, and we'll look at what's happened over the last month or so, and take it as a blessing.
Who can play right back tomorrow?
We have a.
Is that sort of like?
We have, yeah. Well, I think at the moment probably Corbin could probably play right back. Could probably play Schwen there if I need be. Don't think he's ready for 90. Maybe missing 1 or 2 players here. Maybe Jaden Smith could play right back. It really just depends on how the game pans out. I already have a starting team, so yeah, I won't tell you, but yeah. No, that's it.